Good afternoon, my brother, Mr. Asiegbu. Please welcome to Middle African Television.
Yes, good afternoon, my dear brother. Nice having me.
Please, can you please just take a little time to express and tell the world whom you are and where you are living?
Okay, my name is Mazi Uchenna Asiegbu. I am from Ihitanansa. Ihitanansa is in Osu. Osu is in Biafra land. By the special grace of God, I am the head of the Directorate of States of the Indigenous People of Biafra. I reside here in Victoria, Spain, and as we speak, I am in our embassy in Victoria, Spain.
Wow, thank you, sir. So there is some news that are coming in from all over social media pertaining Radio Biafra and you and other supreme members of Radio Biafra. Please, can you narrate and tell us a little bit what went wrong?
Okay, my dear brother, like I always say, I don't believe in a title tattoo. There is no family without internal issues.
Yes.
What we have is an internal issue, and I know not too distant time it will be resolved, and our mission should be Biafra. My own mission is about Biafra, it's not about human beings. I am not here to castigate anybody, as I always say. My leader, Mazen Nandekano, taught us a lot of things to remain steadfast at all times. I don't want to start jumping over issues. I have issues with the Hausa Fulani, not fellow Biafrans. There were some issues bordering on radio, opening up a radio or not opening up a radio. There were little discrepancies. Along the line, our leader instructed me to dismiss some principal officers. My nature, I don't like doing things or having a divided house. I sued for a peace along the line. Our leader misunderstood me and I was suspended. There is no cause for alarm. Our mission is Biafra. Nnamdi Kanu remains my leader, remains our leader. We are soldiering on. I know in not too distant time, we will meet in one triangle where everything will be resolved, and our mission for restoring Biafra will be actualized, and everybody will be all happy again. So, my dear brother, that issue we are on the process of putting it up together for everybody to be one again. There is no cause for alarm. I assure you that. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have you heard anything about Radio Biafra International?
Yes, Radio Biafra International is our radio. Our leader, Mazen Nandekano, ordered for that radio to be opened. As we speak, that radio is the radio of the indigenous people of Biafra. I am aware of the radio and I have been speaking on that radio. So I will tell you, I endorse that Radio Biafra International. It's our radio.
But Radio Biafra London are against the Radio Biafra International. If you said that the radio is for the Biafrans, why the Radio Biafra also in London is against the one in US? Shouldn't they be working as one to be able to actualize this Biafra race?
Yes, that is exactly what I was telling you some minutes ago.
Yeah.
There were kind of discrepancies about the names and all sort of. Radio Biafra London is our radio. Radio Biafra South Africa is our radio. Radio Biafra Malaysia is our radio. Radio Biafra International is our radio. All this radio is under the able leadership of Ohamadike Nnamdi Kanu. Ọnwa gburugburu. I don't want to start going into details of what happened, as this is our social media. Leaders, being a leader does not end there. Being a leader goes with a lot of responsibilities, ability to endure, ability to carry everything along, ability to taking everybody along, and the ability to accommodate your brothers irrespective of their shortcomings. I will not be here to tell you that Radio Biafra London is not my radio. I will not tell you that. We are one indivisible family. I said earlier, in not too distant time, everything will be settled and we will march on in full force.
Okay,
Our
sir.
mission, our only goal is Biafra, nothing but Biafra.
Okay. The way you are being centered, you doesn't want to deviate on your belief, and I respect that. For my own understanding, I believe that any group that is fighting for Biafra, that are operating from any advanced countries, the whole Radio Biafra they should have something like a board of something like disciplinary committee or a committee that will be looking into issues. Does it mean that Radio Biafra in London doesn't have such a board that could have resolved this matter on the ground before those things coming out on air?
The truth, let me correct some impressions here.
Okay.
Radio Biafra London is just a media platform. It's just a media arm of the indigenous people of Biafra. The governing body of IPOB is the indigenous people of Biafra. Radio Biafra London is just a media arm.
Okay, it's a separate. They are separated, two of them.
Yes, a media arm. It's just a media arm.
Okay, okay.
They work in interwoven, but the official governing body of indigenous people of Biafra is the indigenous IPOB, ably led by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And the Directorate of States is the body that runs day-to-day activities of IPOB worldwide. Your question is, do we have dispute resolution committee?
Something like that,
The
yes.
answer is yes. The answer is yes.
Okay.
I said it in my interview last week, a week ago. That dispute resolution committee is heavily led by Dr. Ogedu Uzokwe. Dr. Ogedu Uzokwe is a gynecologist. He resides in London. He is the chairman of Dispute Resolution Committee. And that was one of the reasons I faulted the decisions of the leadership of IPOB. I said it in my last interview. If there is any kind of dispute in the organization, all you need to do is to send that very issue to the Dispute Resolution Committee, after which they will send their findings to the leadership of IPOB. A decision will be taken, and if need be, announcement on our platform. So the answer is yes.
Okay. Another thing, I have a question about the department that Dr. Ogede Uzokwe is leading. Is this dispute resolution committee independent of the entire editorial board of IPOB?
Yes, dispute resolution committee should be independent, but they are answerable to the Directorate of State. They will, after their findings, they will now send their findings to the Directorate of State, after which Directorate of State will liaise with the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, which is Madam Nnamdi Kanu. But in this current crisis, these procedures were not followed. That was why you are hearing this rancor here and there. An organization like IPOB should follow a due process at all times. That shows transparency. Transparency in governance. If we are fighting to be free from the evil contraption called Nigeria, we should behave like matured and experienced people. We are the indigenous people of Biafra. We are fighting for a just cause. And I want us at all times to follow due process. Thank you.
Thank you, my brother. And these directors of states, you are part of them, right?
Yes, I am the head of the Directorate of States of the Indigenous People of Biafra.
Okay. As should I use the word former or still currently?
Yes, yes. There is this slogan in Igbo language says that "Onye ajụrụ ajụ anaghị ajụ onwe ya."
Yes.
Onye ajụrụ ajụ anaghị ajụ onwe ya.
Yes. Um,
Yeah,
um,
I am the head of the Directorate of States of the Indigenous People of Biafra.
okay. As a director of state, and there are issues that are popping up that they need to solve within the IPOB leadership. Um, don't you think, as one of the head of IPOB, that is your duty and your right to press Dr. Ogedi Uzokwe, the one leading the Dispute Resolution Council, to look into that case? And because before, for me, the leader, I mean, Nnamdi Kanu, should be involved, they should perform their duty, and which, as you are just saying, they did not follow the due process. Don't you think that you should press that those people should look into the issue, investigate it, and come out with a very good result?
My dear brother, I am, like I said earlier, Nnamdi Kanu is the leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra.
Yes.
He has taken his decision, and there is nothing anybody can do about it. He has taken his decision. If I am the leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra, I think I will be in a better position to answer that question. But I tell you, you asked the question if there is anything like Dispute Resolution Committee. I said yes. And I even went as far as giving you the name of the head of that department.
Yes.
So since that procedure was not taken, I think Nnamdi Kanu will be in a position to answer that question. Thank you.
But another side of it, Nnamdi Kanu is in a tight corner at the moment, as two of us knows it. He should not comment anything on press, or he should not grant interviews, nor staying along more than 10 people. Involving him into this case now, I think is a little bit dangerous. I believe that every directory board that is being created under the IPOB platform should be independent and functioning, should be working differently the way Nigeria does their thing. Because if they don't follow the due process, the way things have been done, and do it their way, it then means they are doing something like Nigeria. Don't you think it's so? That's the way?
Yes, if you had listened to Radio Biafra International last week Sunday, you would have known that Radio Biafra International has gone very, very far. We are the Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB worldwide. I announced our structure on that platform, and we created a lot of agencies that will govern a kind of roadmap that will lead us to Biafra, where structures will be independent to operate. We have several committees. We have the diplomatic committees. We have the ones, coalitions. We have the agencies of finance. We have that of welfare committees. Every department is independent. They are answerable to the Directorate of States, where every decisions will be taken. Everybody will be carried along. It's not going to be business as usual. In all this, these agencies will be working independently, and in which the leader of such agency will report to the Directorate of States for decisions to be taken. So, to be honest to you, we have taken a new shape. We have taken a new shape and a new direction.
Okay, please be open, my brother. A new shape, please define it. How do you mean by a new shape? It means a lot.
A new shape and a new direction. The new Directorate of States of the Indigenous People of Biafra is very, very versatile.
Under IPOB London or under IPOB United States?
No IPOB United, IPOB worldwide.
Worldwide.
Let me now, maybe I need to define this word IPOB. IPOB means the indigenous people of Biafra worldwide. Of course, Zebedi
Yes.
is a Biafran, and you are a member of IPOB.
No.
You a member of listen, by origin you are a
Okay.
Biafran.
Yes. As origin, my origin
You are a
is
Biafran.
I'm
So
a
have you
Biafran.
heard
Yeah.
about the word the indigenous people?
Yes, I'm one of them.
So you are a member of indigenous people of Biafra by origin. Nobody can deny you that,
Yeah,
irrespective that maybe you have not identified with us, but you cannot say you are a Nigerian. You're only just a Nigerian by identity.
by identity. Yes.
Yes, by identity. So you are a Biafran. That is the word, the indigenous people of Biafra. So we have taken a new shape and we are working assiduously in making sure that we bring everybody together, irrespective of the platform in which you are fighting for the restoration of Biafra. We are working with the positive ones. We are not going to work with any saboteur. We are not going to work with anybody
Okay.
doing something to
Let me
jeopardize.
add something again. All these structures that you are mentioning now, are you people still submitting everything or getting orders from Radio Biafra London, or you guys are now working independent from this?
We are working with the platform of Radio Biafra International.
Okay.
Radio Biafra International, not Radio Biafra London.
It then means the new structure, everything depends on Radio Biafra International
Yeah,
IPOB
that is our
worldwide.
media arm. Our media arm, where we disseminate information to the outside world.
Okay. And these structures now that we are projected now that we take every group, no matter the platform where you belongs to, you have your group try to submit this structure to Radio Biafra London for them to follow suit on the new ideology, the new focus that Radio Biafra International has.
As you asked me some time ago about the crisis in IPOB.
Yes.
And I answered, a time will come where we will meet in a triangle.
Yes.
For now, duty calls. Duty calls. When a man has so many children, and these children on their growing up time, there will be a kind of rancor. But after which some of them will go places, some will travel to various countries. But a time will come where everybody will come to take stock. That time has not come now. The only thing we are focusing now is for the restoration of Biafra. We are not here to give account to anybody. Our only account we are giving is to Biafra people.
Thank you.
Biafra people is the people we are serving.
Okay.
A time will come where we will meet in the triangle. Every other issues will be settled, we march on as the indigenous people. In unison, where we'll be marching to United Nations for our referendum.
Okay. Now, let me ask you another question different from Radio Biafra London. Have you come across or hear anything pertaining to Supreme Council of Elders?
Yes, of course, I've heard about the Supreme Council of Elders.
And what of something called the Customary Government of the Indigenous People of Biafra?
Yes, they are all working for restoration of Biafra. I said earlier, we will work with anybody positive. I repeat, we will work with anybody positive about Biafra restoration. Anybody working against the Biafra restoration, we must not work with them. I have heard about the elders and the Bilia human rights. All these people, we will vet all of them. Those in favor of a restoration of Biafra will work with them. Those against, we will drop them.
How can you be able to identify those that are against?
We have those. We have the coalition. I said before, we have several agencies. We have coalition team. Those are the people in will be the response. In their will be responsible of vetting every platform.
Okay. And I hope you believe that, or let me put it, let me reform or change the question, and let me put it this way. Should it have you or that have the Radio Biafran International draft a resolution that other Biafran agitators from different groups or different platforms should come together. Like I have received some such a thing from what they call it, the customary government, that other groups should come and identify themselves under their platform. Is Radio Biafra International ready to identify themselves on such a platform, or do you
Of
you
course,
don't believe in it?
of course, we are much ready. Of course.
Okay, that's a very nice move. Another thing, there is another issue that I would like to raise. The issue pertaining getting Biafra through voting out electoral people in position in Eastern region, like participating in Nigeria election. Are you also party to it, or you also against it?
We are against that because that constitution in which they will be elected is fraud. We are against that. We will not participate in any election because that constitution is fraud. That constitution, only one man wrote a constitution in 1999, Abubakar
Abdul
Salami,
Salami.
Abubakar. We will never participate with any election under that evil constitution. We say no to that, and we are ready to fight to tooth and nail to make sure that constitution is abolished and Biafra restored.
In like you are living in advanced world in Europe, um, and in that land where you are living, I believe the Catalonians are trying to pull out of Spain. Are they not participating in Spanish political activities to be able to achieve their goals of pulling out of Spain?
That is what we are saying. That is what we are saying. You said advanced word. You used the word advanced word. Advanced word.
Yes.
In Spain, where I live, every state has their own constitution. Every state is independent. They have their own police. They have their own. The only thing they don't have is a central army. They have their own police. They have their own regional government. Everything is working according to plan. And these people, you remember, 2014, Catalonia, they have their own referendum. In 2014, we were out there. We went there with our leader, Mazen Nandekano. They have their own referendum, and the people of Catalonia said they don't want to be in Spain again.
But the Catalonians,
Without nobody shooting them, without nobody molesting them,
yes,
I was there myself in 2014. So
yeah.
when you talk about advanced world, if Africa is advanced continent or advanced world, we won't be having this issue of trying to pull out people, trying to use gun to humiliate or hoodwink people into believing nonsense. We are, in fact, we are in a mess.
My brother, I have another question for you. You mentioned before that Nigerian constitution is a fraud, that one person single-handedly rewrited Nigerian constitution in 1999. That's Abdul Salam Abubakar. Many lawyers in Nigeria and outside Nigeria are presenting to us that Nigerian constitution is fraudulent. But there is every room for us to use that fraudulent constitution to achieve all our aim. Don't you believe on such an idea that they are projected, that there are rooms we can utilize to get whatever we want under that fraudulent constitution?
Anybody projecting that evil constitution has a ulterior motive. I will reject that evil constitution with the last drop of my blood. I don't like hypocrisy. Once I said we don't want something, we don't want it. And I can never tomorrow want it. There is nothing like constitution in Nigeria. That constitution is fraudulent. One man, Sami Abubakar, wrote that constitution in 1999 for their own selfish gain. And I said, we will reject that constitution any day, anytime.
Do you know one barrister, Emeka Shiri, from London? He practices.
Barrister Emeka Esiri is a Bilie human rights organization. He has his own ways of doing his own. Like I said earlier, by the time the coalition team finish their job, we will now know the team we are working with. I
Yeah.
don't want to start telling
No,
you
no,
about.
no, I don't want you to go into details. I just want to point out something. He tendered something to us. He made us understand that under the fraudulent constitution of Nigeria, that the Hausas use the fraudulent constitution, I mean the northern Nigeria, to introduce a customary government in the northern Nigeria, which they call Sharian government today. That there was a bill passed or written by this Sharian government and was adopted by Zamfara state. And at the end of the day today, the whole northern Nigeria are practicing that Sharia government. Don't you see the need if these guys, the northerners, will be able to use the same fraudulent constitution to achieve this type of a thing? Why can't we, the Biafrans, use the same constitution to implement our own bill into Eastern region legislators? Don't you think that is another wise way of doing things?
Is there any way Christianity was mentioned in that constitution? Please point one place Christianity was mentioned in that fraudulent constitution.
Actually, I don't know if there is any Christianity on it, but I believe that Nigeria is a united front. That if they are writing about the Muslim, they should. But in this constitution that the barrister just said, it has nothing to do with Christianity and Muslim. It says
Yes, because why the Hausas succeeded in implementing Sharia law was because there were a place Sharia was in the constitution.
But the barrister argued that it's not that way. That he said that the eastern governors and the legislators, the senators and House of Rep in the eastern government houses rejected the Biafran bill that could have given us this same platform in eastern region. Why don't our politicians open that door for us to have a legal customary government where to practice how to govern ourselves before we get independent?
These same politicians you are talking about were imposed on us by Hausa Fulani people. They are doing the bidding of Hausa Fulani people. You cannot work with them and things will come out positive.
But
I want you to know that.
you know this one now. You know that you cannot work with them. But the Council of Elders that are on the ground says, let us participate in election and vote out all these imposed colonial dominant governors out of our area and let us vote in the indigenous people of Biafrans into power. I bet you rejected that.
Under whose constitution and under what platform?
But for constitution to be able to amend the constitution or abolish it, we need our strong foot in Nigerian politics.
No, my dear brother, you cannot put a foundation on a very wrong land. If you want to build a house, if that place is so swampy, you first of all fill that swamp before you start putting the foundation.
Yes.
Is that correct?
You said it all. Fill the swamp. How can we, if we don't participate in Nigerian politics, like now, for example, what I noticed the last program we have is that Hausa Nigeria are now using Nigerian election to count census. And now, in northern Nigeria, they are registering elections, voters card.
My brother, let me put something.
Let me finish.
We are going. Listen.
Let me just finish. Just
we are
1
not
minute.
going for restructuring.
Okay, well, just 1 minute. It's not restructuring. I just want to put something. For example, now he said that somebody called in and said in northern Nigeria, people who are registering to participate in election are using no identity to register. Likewise in Yoruba land. But in our own eastern region, they are demanding passport from our elders. I thought that those that will use passport are those who are traveling out of the nation. Why should our people now, the indigenous people, use passport to be able to get their voters card? Don't you think without we participating in election, they will keep on marginalizing us the more?
That is what I'm telling you, my dear brother. We are going for outright independence. I am not going for restructuring. The indigenous people of Biafra is not going for restructuring. We are going for Biafra restoration.
But
I want to get two different things. Group, listen, my dear brother.
Okay.
Some group are fighting for restructuring. We are not fighting for restructuring.
Yeah.
There is nothing under the umbrella of Nigeria can ever work. Nothing.
But
You cannot work with Hausa Fulani people.
but my brother Asiegbu, there is something that Barrister mentioned last time. He said that, or even I see it, I'm seeing it in Nigeria. We have lawyers in Nigeria, the indigenous people who are lawyers, well educated, but they have never ever tried to use the Nigerian constitution to confront Nigeria before in Nigerian court of law. Last week, we have a program. Let me just give you a short story. We have a program here last weekend. And somebody calls in. We were discussing about Port Harcourt Seaport. That somebody will send the goods to Lagos, he will clear his goods under 3 good hours. If you send it to Port Harcourt, you will clear it under 3 good months. And the barrister stays immediately and quote the law that will give him the authority to change things in Port Harcourt. But we have barristers in Nigeria who are the indigenous people, but they are sleeping. None of them cares to take Nigeria to court. Are they afraid or they don't want to help their brothers?
My dear brother, you mentioned one thing, the advanced word.
Yes.
Slavery. Slavery is a very bad thing. Slavery. If we are all in that evil contraction, maybe by now, sometimes you don't even know what we are doing. Some of all these barristers you are mentioning, in university they all graduated. They graduated in Ahmadu Bello University. Some graduated in the University of Nigeria and Soka. Some graduated in Delta State University, Abraka.
It means they don't know their right.
I think I leave you. I don't know if you are pondering what I'm pondering.
I'm with you. I'm a journalist, so I have to be in a neutral ground.
So that is why we are going for outright independence, where everything will be very, very okay to the people.
Okay,
people will study and practice what they study. One thing about our people, some of us here in diaspora, some of us are suffering from brain drain.
Oh my God.
Some of us are suffering from brain drain. You see somebody studied law, you come here, you will not find a very good platform for you to practice what you studied. At the end of the day, you started doing many jobs. All these things will affect your future. So what is happening in our place today, you see somebody studied medicine, but along the line, you can see that he cannot fit into practicing what he studied. He jumped into practicing law. At the end of the day, he become a lawyer.
Somebody asked a question on our platform. He said, please, sir, kindly explain the process for the referendum.
The process of referendum is in our platform. If you go to Radio Biafra International, you will see it. First of all, we will enlighten the people. First of all, our referendum, if you go to Radio Biafra International, everything is there. We will enlighten the people. Second, we will build coalition. That is merging with every other group.
Platforms, yeah.
Platforms. Then we go for executive referendum. After the executive referendum, we go to transition to governance. That is our roadmap. If you go to Radio Biafra International, our roadmap is there. You don't need anybody to tell you.
But I have another question in terms of this referendum, because international law made me to understand that it's only those in parliament that can trigger a referendum. So if we doesn't participate in Nigerian election, who are the ones in that parliament that will trigger the referendum to take place?
That is why in 2007, President Bush sponsored a bill of the right of the indigenous people.
Self-determination.
Self-determination, right of self-determination. So with this, the most important thing is for we to build a very solid coalition. Indigenous people of Biafra alone cannot get Biafra. Billion human rights cannot get Biafra alone. BZM cannot get Biafra alone. Masob cannot get Biafra alone. BIM cannot get Biafra alone. We need a unified indigenous people that will present our case to the United Nations. It
Okay.
doesn't mean you must participate in Biafran politics, Nigerian politics, before you sponsor a referendum.
From example now, Bile Human Rights have already gotten a three seat of non-permanent member of United Nations. Are you aware of that?
That is what they are telling us.
That they are sending people that are living in the United States to represent them. It then means Israel.
We, the indigenous people of Biafra, has participated too to the United Nations. So we need a common front, my dear brother, common front, one unified body to represent the indigenous people of Biafra. This person going will do us no good.
My brother Asiegbu, just 1 minute. Alfred Christopher, here is not Facebook. You are not here to insult anybody. If you insult anybody here, I will not. It's not welcome on our platform. You have to talk sense. If you have question, you ask. If you doesn't like anything he's saying, call in on this number and challenge him directly with your own form. That is why we are live on Miro African Television. God bless every listener. So, my brother, let's go back to our discussion, please. Um, um, on this Bile human right and the other group you mentioned, Zidane, right? You mentioned is
BZM.
BZM. I don't know how
Yes,
to.
under Omuka.
Okay, BZM. Don't you think that we will be able to have something like reconciliation forum where every group will come? Maybe you guys, I may host all of you in German to reconcile all the whole Biafran group. Let all of them send their representatives, and Miro Africa will host them. Let us iron out our differences. Will you like such a thing to take place? And will you like
Like
to
I
participate?
said, we have the coalition team. We have the coalition team. They are doing their work. By the time they finish what they are doing, they will bring whatever resolution they made to the table of the Directorate of States. We will look into it and come out with our stand. Our mission is to reconcile with every group fighting for Biafra. Every positive group, not those fighting for Biafra in the morning. In the evening, they will be shuttling to Asorok. Those are the people we will not work with. We are working with the genuine Biafran group. Anybody fighting Biafran cause, in all sincerity, we will work with them.
Have you have any contact with the Supreme Council of Elders before?
I said we have a coalition team. I don't want to do their work for them. By the time they finish, they will present their report to my table. We will analyze it.
Okay, let me go into a little bit harder because in BBC they call it hard talk. In Miro Africa we call it question and answer. Um, are you aware that Uchenna receives salary?
My brother, one thing about me, I said it before,
Yes,
I don't discuss people.
it's not people.
Uchemefo is my brother. Whatever that transpired between me and Uchemefo and other
Okay,
members of
okay, okay.
directorate,
Let me change the formulation.
it's not for the consumption of the public,
Okay,
please.
let me change the formula. Is it those working under the restoration of Biafra receiving salaries?
No, we are all volunteer workers.
Okay.
We are all volunteer workers.
Mr. CMU, are you a lawyer? It's like you're a barrister. Oh my God. Well, Mr. CMU, I will just say thank you for today. Thank you for everything. Thank you for your time. I'm pleased to hear from you. I have heard a lot of news, a lot of things from outside the world, but you have made it clear to me and to our listeners all over the world. I will say thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mazi Zebedi, and nice having me. Thank you, and God bless you.
God bless you, my brother.
Yeah.
So, my people, this is the short interview that I'm having with our brother Uchenna Omio Asiegbu. I will still get other followers of former and current Radio Biafra and Radio Biafra International and the one in UK to ask them their own side of story. Please don't condemn anybody you have not heard from him. If somebody said that this person is evil or this person is bad, it is your duty as an indigenous man, as a Republican, to ask questions. Look for that person's contact, ask him questions, go into contact, know the real story and the real details about what's going on. Stop insulting. Insult doesn't bring Biafra. Insult will only chase away those who will come out to fight for you and fight for the liberation of Biafra. Be your brother's keeper. Remain blessed. May God bless you all. In Jesus' name and Chukwu Bye bye for now.